Hello everyone, and welcome to our virtual service and celebration for the week of September 26, 2021. I want to give a big shout out to our friends up in Oregon, to Howard and Sherry Davies. I love you guys. I miss you. Looking forward to having you guys come down here with Daisy. But anyway, they've recommended a piece of music that we're going to be using at the very beginning here with Leanne Rhymes. So enjoy that. We also have Lee Coulter doing Live a Little. So enjoy yourself. Thank you for being here. Let's settle in and do this.
I speak love into the world. I sing love into the world. I speak love into the world. I sing love into the world. I sing love into the world. Won't you sing with me now? Sing love into the world. Won't you sing with me now? Sing love into the world. I birth love into the world. I sing love into the world. Yeah, I birth love into the world. I sing love into the world. I sing love into the world. Won't you sing with me now? Sing love into the world. Won't you sing with me now? Sing love into the world. I pray love into the world. I sing love into the world. I pray love into the world. I sing love into the world. I sing love into the world. Won't you sing with me now? Sing love into the world. Won't you sing with me now? Sing love into the world. I send love into the world. I sing love into the world. I send love into the world. I sing love into the world. I sing love into the world. Won't you sing with me now? Sing love into the world. Won't you sing with me now? Sing love into the world. Let the whole world sing along. Let the whole world sing now. Let the whole world sing along. Let the whole world sing now. Let
Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea. You are inside and all around me. And it is to this great Spirit that we open up our hearts for this 3-minute meditation, allowing ourselves to sit comfortably and indeed take several deep breaths. For as we inspire, we breathe in this great Spirit, this love, this divine beingness. And as we exhale, we simply allow and let be. Oh, great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me. I sit in an open heart for wherever I am in this very instant, this moment, this present moment. I can radiate my awareness to all that is. In this place of receptivity, I allow my mind to dwell on the elements of nature, on the beauty of earth and sun and sky and sea, on the receptivity that you are inside and all around me. I allow this truth to settle into my being. This truth always all-pervading. What is inside is all around me. We take these few precious moments, this sacred pause. Pause now. Pause now with me in this moment and again in the next. We take a sacred pause to listen, to feel, and to breathe, and to acknowledge that this divine beingness is inside and all around me. I am grateful for the awareness, the breath of life, and the continuation of this divine Spirit, for its teachings and its message and its divine order. I call it forth, knowing that it exists in, through, and as all things. Guide me, protect me, and give me the strength and courage to step forward, known or unknown, in great faith, in great truth, for my heart of hearts knows that you are inside and all around me. And so it is.
So this week we are heading into autumn, and there are a couple big festivals that are going on this week. The first, of course, is what's known as Mabon, or the autumnal equinox. It is that place where the sun crosses the ecliptic and there's an equal amount of light and dark, and then it starts moving to more and more darkness. We also have the Jewish festival of Sukkot, which is the festival of the tabernacles, and I'll be talking a little bit about that. And then we also have what's known as Michaelmas, which is the feast of St. Michael, which happens on September 28th. So it's an energetic time, and it's a very interesting time because in many ways, what we begin to feel is this drawing inward. As the light gets shorter and shorter, and the night season becomes longer and longer. So we feel this cooling, this darkening, this desire to kind of go inward. So also, primarily, what's going on in this time is we feel at the level of the soul this inner urge to cultivate a deeper sense of who we are, to really tap into that true essence, that genuine, absolute guide within us. Howard Thurman says it like this: there is in you something that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. It is the only true guide you will ever have. It's a journey to discover the genuine within ourselves. And what I want to offer is this: what is the most genuine thing about you? What is the most remarkable thing about you? What is the thing that is the truest about you? Because they're all the same thing. And that is this, is that you are the beloved of God. That this unrelenting love, this force, this great artificer of the universe that existed before time itself, that has set all things in motion, knows you, loves you, desires that which is great and good and beautiful and vital about you. That is the genuine guide, and that is the star that guides us all. And I think it's interesting this time of year as we celebrate this moving, this introspective urge that the soul feels, that in the Jewish calendar is what's known as the Festival of the Tabernacles. And really what it goes back to is this. It goes back to remembering or weaving into the stories that are told at the table or in discussions or in study and conversations, the story of Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt on their 40-year trek into the Promised Land. And we all know the story, right, about how they were, the children of Israel were wandering in the desert for 40 years. But the reality is they weren't wandering. It wasn't an aimless meander. In truth, it's about a 6-week walk. But something was happening. What Ernest Holmes says, that in this life we don't get what we want, we get what we become. And it took a generation of moving, of learning how not to live and be and think as a slave in order to become the inheritors of the great land that would become Israel. And because of that, there were things that had to be let go, released. The whole belief that one lives in bondage needed to go away. And so, the question that I ask for you is this, is as you are moving into this time, are there things that it's time to let go of, that no longer suit you, that prevent you from becoming that which you are called to be? And oh, by the way, in this story, as I said, they weren't wandering, they were guided. They were guided, as the story goes, by a pillar of fire in the evening and a line of smoke in the day. But there was a clear direction. There was a volition. They knew where they were going. And they knew that they were being supported in that. And of course, we all have our moments of doubts. We all have our questioning. We all have those things, those old stories that we hold on to that kind of creep back in times of anxiety and change. Because let's face it, all change is loss at some degree or another. And all loss is change at some degree or another. And so there is sort of almost baked into our evolutionary process moments of anxiety, moments of grief, moments of uncertainty. But this is where the power of allowing ourselves to tap into the genuine within us becomes important. It becomes our guide. I was thinking, as I was getting ready to do this talk, of the time, I think it was in 2008, that we went through our first evacuation here. And an evacuation, it's not really an exile, but it kind of is. You're called away from your home for a period of time before it's safe to return. And for myself, I remember the first time we did this, what I packed and what I took, grabbed the dogs, grabbed a few other things, jumped in my truck, and off I went. But afterwards, I got to thinking, an exile, an evacuation, a movement of change isn't so much what we take with us as much as it is what we leave behind. And so as we're embarking on this season of powerful and wonderful change, this opportunity to go inward on the journey, to know, just like the ancient children of Israel, that there are tabernacles, booths, there are places, in Spanish, they are called descansars, these places that we can rest and abode and grow. And so what do we leave behind? Maybe what we leave behind is disappointment. Maybe we leave behind grudges. Maybe we leave behind fantasies of how things should have been, as opposed to what they are and what's calling forth that which is in us to answer into this call with what we have now. Our whole theme this month is chop wood, carry water, finding spiritual fulfillment in the everyday things. And so those things that hold us back from being in the present moment, those are the things that we're releasing this time of year. This is what we're moving towards. And I think as a guide is, I love the image of St. Michael, of Michaelmas, of this drawing forth, the power of his sword of discernment to cut through the illusions of things. And so maybe our practice this week is to consider Michael as a guide, as a defender, and as a leader, and to really tap into what in me is being called forth. As I am going inward, what are the intentions that I am setting forth? What am I willing to release? What am I willing to embrace? Where am I seeing the divine in the everyday that activates the inner guide within me? And so we open ourselves, knowing that there is a living presence, a divine essence that lives in and through and as all things. It is that which exists before time exists, but it knows us intimately, lovingly. As a parent loves a child, it desires our good. And we are never separate from it. And so as we ask for this, as we set forth our intention, we know that we are guided, we accept that we are changed, and we anticipate the amazement and the wonder and the awe that leads us to it. And when it happens for us, it happens for the world. As Lao Tzu says, if you want to awaken all humanity, then awaken all of yourself. If you want to eliminate the suffering in the world, then eliminate all that is dark and negative in yourself. Truly, the greatest gift you have to give is that of your own self-transformation. And so it is.
It's unlikely you know the story of precisely how we came to be. Chances are we'll never know the mystery of you and me. So let your walls down and meet me in the middle. We could live just a little if you could fit a little. Or let your walls down and meet me in the middle. We could love a little bit more. I'm not talking about desire, not talking about kumbaya. I don't require no campfire. No, I just wanna say hello to my fellow people while we share a smile. Hey, so let your walls down and meet me in the the middle. We could live just a little if you could fit a little. Let your walls down and meet me in the middle. We could love a little bit more. Love a little bit more. Oh, I'm gonna love a little bit more. Let your walls down and meet me in the middle. We could love a little bit more. We could focus on our differences. We're talking in percentages. That DNA thing, we're just the same things. We might be worlds apart, but deep down in our hearts, you know we want the same things. We're just the same. Everybody's somebody's baby. Maybe, just maybe, someday we'll see that we may never ever know that mystery. Yeah, you and me. So let your walls down and meet me in the middle. We could live just a little if you could fit a little. Let your walls down and meet me in the middle. We could love a little bit more. Love a little bit more. I'm gonna love a little bit more. Let your walls down and meet me in the middle. We could love a little bit more. Love a little bit more. I'm gonna love a little bit more. You can love a lot if it's what you've got. If not, just a little bit more. You can love a lot if it's what you got. If not, just a little bit more. Love a little bit more. Love a little bit more. And we'll live just a little bit more.
Thank you for being part of our virtual celebration. I was thinking about all the way back of March in 2020, how so many of you have stepped up and supported us. And we're really kind of creating something remarkable here. We're going to be evolving it a little bit more, tuning it up, fine-tuning it, and really trying to give you a real piece of quality art. And part of that is our partnership. How your generous support allows us to continue to do this. So thank you again. And on behalf of all the people here at the Hilltop Spiritual Center, to those whom you love and those whom you receive love from, we all wish you many, many, many blessings.